Good morning, everybody. Today we wanted to kind of show you our roasters and our roasting process. And so just to get right into it, one of the first steps is preheating the roaster. And so that's what we're going to do right now. So to put it simply, these could be considered sample roasters or drum roasters because of the design and how they're a drum. On the interior, there are fins that keep the beans rotating, and there's a small opening here to let the smoke out, but also keep a lot of that heat in there. It's over the stove, and we just hook it up to a little propane tank on there. It's a little different take on roasting compared to more of an industrial process, I guess you could say, but it works quite nicely for us.
So at our farmers market stand, we have it advertised that our coffee is hand roasted, and this is what we mean by that. Where we're literally using manpower to actually get these roasters to work and everything. And really from there, not only is it just kind of that physical notion of hand roasting, but also beyond this kind of baseline temperature I'm setting the roaster to, and I'm going to drop these beans in right now. You're really just working with all of your senses from there, and so that's kind of what we mean by hand roasting. Basically, it's like a completely human process this way, where from here on out, I know I got this baseline temperature, but now it's time for me just to use my senses to roast from there.
So these roasters are from Japan, believe it or not. You can't exactly get them in the United States. It's not easy to. They seem to be a lot more popular there. You see people on YouTube with them, and that's actually how we kind of came across the design. There was this man, Katsuji Daibo. We really like his approach to coffee and his little kisa-ten, the traditional Japanese coffee settings, and he does all of his coffee roasting just like this in a roaster slightly bigger than this. But when we saw that, we were inspired, and we really wanted to figure out how could we do this ourselves, and could it work over here. And so that's one thing we're kind of striving for. Especially as far as like how beautiful that was to see. And so we just want to see if we can recreate that as much as possible. Initially we started with just a pan, or like a little saucepan, and sometimes we would preheat it, sometimes not, but we would just put green beans into the pan, and you shake them around. Really, you can roast coffee however you want. I don't think there's one way to do it. That's where we started, and now we're here. So So as you could probably tell, this does limit us in how much we can roast at a time. I don't know. It is quite possible that somewhere along the line we will have to upgrade to something bigger, but I want to see how long we could just manage with these, and I have a feeling that these will always be a part of our business and our coffee scene. So today I'm roasting a washed Kenyan bean that we recently got in, and I don't know, I'm really excited for this one. It should be really fruity, it should be acidic as well. I'm more fond of acidic coffees. But what are you roasting?
So I have a Colombian honey processed coffee, and this one should be a good balance between a fruitier Colombian coffee, but it's one that should be versatile and should be able to work at a variety of different roast levels. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. It's my first time roasting this one, so I'm trying to be extra careful not to rush it too much. it seems to be going at a pretty good pace right now. I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Yeah, if you don't mind helping me here, I have a hard time hearing from this side. I mean, we both do, but we kind of have to look out for each other's first cracks because, yeah, the sound can kind of be a little bit deceptive. So, but I should be getting close. So,
Right. Yeah, you're definitely starting to hit that more cinnamon color. I'd say one of the fun things about having a roaster like this, it's not the easiest thing to be able to just replicate a roast or a roast profile. And so it's sometimes, I don't know, it's kind of fun because, you know, either it's a challenge and it's something you could get really good at, or sometimes you discover something new that you wouldn't have really tried to figure out. And so I think that sometimes creates some more interesting tasting coffees that we brew. About every minute or so, I'm checking to see kind of just where we're at. Right now we're still in the yellowing phase, and as you can kind of tell, Thomas is more on the end of the roast, so we're just waiting for that pop.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to hear, but I just heard the first starts of first crack for my roast. That means we're getting pretty close to the end at this point. Yeah, you can see if it can capture it, but it's that light little kind of drummy noise. And yeah, the similarities are always, or we always compare it to popcorn because you kind of get a similar sense of what's going on that way. So, all right, here we go.
So there's my first crack. I don't know if you heard that, but that was like a loud one. Sometimes you get these soft ones, and sometimes you get these really booming ones.
Yeah.
As you're cooling them down, sometimes it's good to kind of taste the bean once it's cooled enough, kind of get a feel of if you hit that roast level that you were looking for. And so I was definitely trying to go lighter on this one, so it should be a little bit more dense, a little bit more fruity as well. So yeah, both of these that we just did were a 200-gram roast, which is probably the minimum capacity that these roasters will take. We'll take them all the way up to a pound of coffee, maybe even a little bit more. In the end, this is one of the most beautiful ways that we found to roast coffee. And so we're going to try to use it as long as we can, you know, supply the business. But it really just comes down to, we think this is just a beautiful process. So yeah, thank you for following along today, following along our roasting journey, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.